Hey nerds, bit of a different video for you here today. I kind of wanted to talk about something that's going on in gaming news that kind of was, I don't know, kind of troubled me a little bit. I'm typically someone who likes to stay away from like drama and things like that. But if you haven't heard, BlizzCon 2018 just happened, and just from that statement alone, I'm sure most of you know exactly what I'm going to mention in a second. The Diablo Immortal mobile game was announced. Let's just jump. So I'm seeing a lot of like really conflicting conversations going on, a lot of dislikes on the video, and this isn't going to talk so much. Sorry, I'm taking my socks off. It's warm in here. There's a lot of dislikes on the video. There's even some drama going on with the YouTube channel that uploads the Diablo content and has like the Diablo 3 remastered or whatever on the Switch and everything, and they put up all those videos. They put up the Diablo Immortal trailer for the mobile game. Seemingly, they didn't like the like to dislike ratio and took the video down and then like kind of re-uploaded it, and the same thing was happening. There's this whole other drama going on with the fact that they are actually like supposedly Blizzard, whether it's Blizzard or Activision. The dislikes are like going down, and the likes are obviously people are going to watch it, and some people like mobile games, so they're going to like it, and that's perfectly fine if you're into that. This isn't even really the topic of the video. Yeah, there's some scandals here and there with it. I watched a video from Young. Yeah, there's a website that he references that's showing the analytics of this YouTube channel, how likes are not adding up to what the data is just not adding up, and dislikes are being deleted. But overall, the topic of this video is the entitled gamer thing. So I'm a follower of Boogie2988, and a lot of people give him hate, and it seems like a lot of people literally go out of their way just to kind of harass a man that they know has like mental issues and anxiety and stuff like that, and like he'll kind of just give like a pretty, sometimes he's a little bit edgy with his opinions and stuff like that, but typically he's kind of like middle of the road and everything. And I saw a couple of game journalists and commentators in Boogie's Twitter feed kind of mentioning how like, oh, he's being a crybaby, he's being an entitled gamer, this, that, and the other thing, like, oh, boo-hoo. And they're not, to me, Twitter is a cesspool of people who are not looking to broaden their horizons and learn anything. They're looking to have their social media mic drop moment, and their mind is just closed off to learning anything. And I feel like that's what a lot of these people who are kind of attacking Boogie were doing. And yeah, not everybody who's disagreeing with him is attacking him, but there are some people that just go out of their way. This isn't just like to butter a Boogie or anything like that. The point of this conversation is that they mentioned something about entitled gamers, like, oh, just because you didn't get what you want doesn't mean that you're allowed to have this opinion. You're not allowed to complain about it on the internet. One, anyone's really allowed to do anything they want on the internet. Yeah, I'm kind of knocking a couple game journalists and commentators, but that doesn't mean that they're not allowed to do that kind of stuff. I just think it's a bit childish. The entitled gamer thing, if you look at the way the presentation was laid out, Diablo Immortal, the mobile game, was supposed to be this big news event. Blizzard had kind of like said a couple times like, hey, we got some big news regarding Diablo for you. Everybody expecting and hoping for Diablo 4. I'm a fan of the series. I was hoping for Diablo 4, but we got Diablo Immortal. And yeah, some people might really enjoy it, but there's a couple of big issues with it. So if you look at the developer who's making Diablo Immortal, it is Blizzard, but it's also a Chinese company called NetEase, who have made a couple other mobile games that are pay to win, and they're kind of cookie cutter. And I feel like people are having a big issue with the fact that it's like, okay, basically they're just going to give us a reskinned game that has Diablo characters in it or something. It's not at all what people wanted. So if you look at that already, that's already kind of an issue. But the whole entitled gamer thing is, if you're having a big event and you know what people want, they are allowed to have an opinion against it and speak out against it and be kind of frustrated against it, because Diablo is a 20-year or so long series, and if you didn't necessarily get what you want out of the series, yeah, you could easily be like, oh, don't be a baby, don't be an entitled gamer or something like that. But people have put time and money into this. So I think the big issue is kind of how Blizzard presented this to everybody and said, hey, this is going to be awesome. And then not even to mention their whole like, oh, you don't have phones thing. Like, I don't know who's allowing these people to speak to their customers like this, but it happens all over the place, i.e. Ryan Johnson with Star Wars. Like, we'll talk about that next video. Everyone's favorite subject, Star Wars. But overall, they presented it like it was going to be this big deal. And it wasn't. but it was in the sense that people kind of overreacted. The one guy did kind of go up there, and it's even hard to watch. But he asked, "Is this an out of season April Fool's joke?" And that kind of stuff, I feel like, yeah, maybe everybody's thinking that. But you are talking to the developer, so maybe kind of just like post that on the forum somewhere or something. Like, don't embarrass the poor guy on stage. But at the same time, like, you could also argue, like, look, these people have invested in the series forever, and now you're pulling an EA from last year with a mobile game, and you're injecting another mobile game, and it's probably going to be pay to win. So that's kind of just an issue. But to kind of round this back out to the original topic, which is the entitled gamer thing. Again, back to these commentators, not just on Boogies, but on everybody. I'm seeing a lot of commentators and game journalists talking about this and being like, oh, boo-hoo, wah-hell. I'm seeing these grown adults crying and stuff like that. Your job is to present facts, but most journalists and commentators have a personality, which a lot of their opinion comes through on. So you're kind of discrediting your own work right off the bat by discrediting someone else's opinion because they don't necessarily like something. Yeah, so kind of to round out this whole conversation, Blizzard or Activision, whoever's doing it, whatever reason that dislikes are disappearing and comments are being suppressed and everything like that, that's really just making stuff look bad for you. I really don't actually even know how a company that's that technically inclined doesn't understand that people are going to catch on to that super, super quick. That's got to stop. The entitled gamer thing, people are allowed to have their opinions. If you're a fan of something and you're expecting something and you're led to believe that you're going to get that something, and then you're delivered a mobile game that's probably pay to win, people are allowed to be upset by that. Game journalists and commentators, yes, they are allowed to call people babies if they want to, but it doesn't make that very credible, if that makes any sense. People who are fans of something, and it's the same thing with Star Wars. And again, in my next video, we'll probably be talking about Star Wars. I'm a fan of Star Wars. I do like the new ones. I do have a lot of complaints about the new ones, but I'm like an OG fan of them. But this is like kind of like the same thing. Rian Johnson calling people man babies because they don't like his work. Yes, people do go overboard with it, but at the same time, you have to understand that when people are super passionate about something and something is strayed, whether it's Star Wars, Diablo, anything else, and the company strays so far away, especially now with Activision kind of back in the company, and we've already seen this mobile game already technically, it's okay to be upset by that. So if you are upset by it, perfectly fine. Let me know in the comments down below. If you're not upset by it, perfectly fine. Let me know in the comments down below. I do want to hear what you guys think about this because it is really polarizing. I kind of am middle of the road on this. I think Diablo Immortal is a dumb idea, especially going off of the model and like developed by NetEase and things like that. I maybe don't think that guy should have embarrassed the other guy on stage in front of like thousands of people, but I still am leaning more towards the side that people who are fans of this are allowed to be upset by it. Like I said, I am a fan of Diablo, not like a crazy fan. I'm more a fan of Blizzard, and I've played the Diablo games and do like them. But the people who are super fans, the people who paid to be at BlizzCon and were hyped up and got delivered that, they're allowed to be upset by that. Yeah, on either side, people are in the right and in the wrong with how they present their arguments, or maybe they are just complaining. You kind of have to just ignore trolls and look at people who do have credible arguments. Anyways, so basically, the whole situation with Diablo can be solved by just not making mobile games if you're a major developer. All right, it has been Fuzzy Owl. Stay nerdy, nerds. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like this video, share it with your friends. Yeah, I want to hear what you guys think. This is a very interesting topic, and I feel like it's creeping up on Infinite Warfare dislikes within the next couple of days. So this has been Fuzzy Owl. Stay nerdy, nerds. Talk to you later.